Good afternoon, everyone on this lovely, wonderful day, man. Today's the day that the Lord has made. So, man, we're going to be happy. We're going to be thankful. We're going to be glad in it. No matter what our life look like on today, just know, hey, tomorrow could be a better day for you. You know, and God worked that fast. And God will bring a miracle into you within 24 hours to turn your whole life around. It's just who God is, just who Jesus Christ is. And every day you wake up, you got to believe that God is going to change your life, that He going to, you know what I'm saying, whatever promise that He given to you, He going to bring it to pass. You got to wake up expecting God to do something so wonderful, so miraculous in your life each and every day, because God can and He will. And He will do it. But at the end of the day, we all know God don't bless us when we walk in disobedience. It's all about us walking in obedience, man. So if you want to receive anything from God, you first gotta walk in obedience. You gotta walk in obedience to His will, His way, His words, and just live the way God has called you. But man, today we're gonna get into talking about the promises. The promise. You know, God will never forget His promise, His very words that He has spoken to you. He'll never forget that. He gonna do whatever He said He gonna do, but He just gonna do it in His time, in His will, and His way. And like I said earlier, most of the time, man, what God done spoke or told to us, it get delayed because we be out of alignment. We don't be in position. We don't be walking in the will of God. So when you are not in line with God, you can't receive what God done told you that He gonna give it to you. Not saying that He don't want to give it to you. It's just being delayed because of you. It's just being delayed because of you. And then sometimes God will delay it because at the end of the day, He know we ain't ready for it. He know in the state that we in, we ain't ready for it. We ain't ready to receive that blessing or that miracle or whatever it is that He have for us. And He got to prepare us for it. He got to get us right physically, mentally, emotionally, and especially spiritually. Because God knows if He give us anything that has been promised to us at the wrong time, we're going to destroy it. We're going to let the cankerworms come in and eat it up and tear it up and devour it and all that. And God don't want to bless you with something that He's promised you that is going to be a blessing to you, your family. It's going to break generational curses. He don't want to give it to you at the wrong time. That's something He don't want to do. Because then if He give it to you, then you're going to be right back at Him talking about, God, I need. But then God already done gave you that blessing. So, but without further ado, man, we're going to be coming out of Genesis chapter 9, verses 12 through 17. Genesis chapter 9, verses 12 through 17. And the word read, and God said, this is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth. And it shall come to pass when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the bow shall be seen in the cloud. And I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. And the water shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh. And the bow shall be in the cloud, and I will look upon it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth. And God said unto Noah, this is the token of the covenant which I have established between me and all the flesh that is upon earth. And the covenant that God is talking about, when you go back and I should have read verse chapter 11 where it say, I will establish my covenant with you, neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of flood, neither shall there be any more, or neither shall there any more be a flood to destroy the earth. That was God's covenant. That was His promise to us. And that he will never destroy the world again by water, but God said next time he's going to destroy it by fire. And every day that we look up and we look into the cloud after it get through raining, it's a rainbow. It's a rainbow. So a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people tell me, y'all tell y'all kids, well, the rainbow is a pot of gold at the end. Man, start lying to your kid and tell your kid what the rainbow really means. That is God's covenant. That is his promise that he is keeping. That is his promise that he is keeping. That is God's covenant. That is his promise that he is keeping with us. That, hey, I'm not going to destroy this world again by water. So every time it rains, guess what's going to happen? You're going to see a rainbow. And I'll never forget one day out there rain, and I was walking home, and I seen a rainbow in the sky. And when I got home, I ended up going on YouTube, and I just, for some odd reason, this message popped up about rainbow and the promise. So I'm like, so after I got through listening to it, I heard God say, "You seen that rainbow?" I'm like, I just seen the rainbow. And like, that was God telling me, I'm still gonna honor I'm still gonna honor the promise that I have given to you. Like, I'm still gonna honor the promise. Like, I'm still gonna honor the promise. And I know there's a lot of people out there, man, God done spoke some things to you. He done said he gonna do some stuff in your life, and it just seems like it just ain't gonna come to pass. Just like it taking forever and ever. But hey, just like God gave Sarah and Abraham a promise that, hey, through your seed, I'm gonna bless your generation. That, you know what I'm saying, that your seed or your generation is gonna be more than the number of stars that you can count and the sand as well. So when God gave them that promise, what they were trying to do was they were trying to bring that promise to pass, because Sarah was barren. She couldn't have no children. At the end of the day, that's what a lot of things. That's why a lot of us, we do the same thing. When God has given us a promise, we try to bring it to pass instead of letting God bring it to pass. And when we try to do it, we begin to get out of God's will. We begin to get out of his alignment. We begin to take on and birth Ishmaels and bring things into our life that God had never called for us to have, because we get impatient and we get out of alignment with him. So when God gave him the promise, yeah, it took a while for the promise to come. And for you, it gonna take a while for the promise to come. But most of the time, it takes a while because it be us. We delay the promise. We delay it. Cause like I said, we be out there trying to do it on our own will and our own way, or we don't want to surrender our life over to God, or we don't want to submit to God, or whatever the case may be. Reason why God is holding or delaying that promise or that very word that he's spoken to your life, that don't mean he don't want to do it. That don't mean he ain't gonna do it. He just waiting on you to get in alignment, or he waiting on the right time to birth that Isaac, to birth that promise, and it's gonna happen. But you just gotta wait on God, man. Like I tell people, at the end of the day, man, look, God is the best author. You hear me? He is the best. He is the best author of teaching you patience. Cause God will make you wait, and he will make you wait, and he will make you wait. He don't care how long. You can sit there. This is why I always tell people, man, you can't sit and tell God about how old you getting. You started telling God, all right, God, I'm in my 40s, I'm in my 50s. Man, look, God don't care how old you is. When it's time for that promise to come, it gonna happen. God may promise you something today, in 5-6 years from now, it may come to pass. You just gotta be patient and wait on God, and know that God's timing is the best timing and not our time. But that promise is gonna come to pass. I don't know who need to hear this. I don't know who I'm talking to. I'm speaking to myself, because this is a word for myself. But hey, I know I ain't the only one who need to hear this. It's a lot of people God done spoke some things to you. He done told you your organization gonna flourish. He done told you that, hey, you got this and this and this and that gonna happen, and that he done showed it to you in dreams and vision, and he done sent other people. He done sent other people to speak things into your life that agrees with what God have placed in your spirit. So, but at the end of the day, you just gotta wait on God, and you gotta seek God. That's why I always tell people, seek ye kingdom first and his righteousness, and God gonna do the rest. God gonna do the rest, and you gotta be willing to let God come in, because at the end of the day, you ain't God. God gave you that desire to either start that organization or to start that business or to go into ministry or whatever the case may be. So you gotta put God in. You just can't just do it how you want to do it, because how you want to do it, it ain't gonna prosper. The only way that promise or whatever God have told you is gonna prosper is you gotta have God in it. You gotta have God in it, because God is the one who gonna make that thing prosper, not you. He just using you to orchestrate that thing. But God is the one who gonna make that thing prosper. So you gotta go through God. You gotta ask God, okay, God, you told me to start this organization. Or God, you told me to do this. Or God, you told me to do that. So, Lord, just lead me and guide me. Who is it that you want me to work with? Who is it? Who is the people that you have for me? God, send those people. Because I know who I want to work with, but Lord, you send me those people who you want me to work with. And sometimes, man, the people that God uses don't always look like the same people as us. I'm just here to tell you that, and I feel like God speaking to me when he said that. God don't always use people who look like us. And when I mean look like us, I ain't talking about just skin color. I'm talking about like background or whatever the case may be. Man, look, God uses whoever he want to use. God uses whoever he want to use to advance his kingdom, to help his kingdom people. You know, and you just got to be open into it. You just got to seek God, and when no opportunity, them doors begin to open, you got to seek God and ask God, okay, God, is this the right person? Is this the right opportunity? Is this the right this and this the right that and that's the right that? That's why I always tell you, man, you got to go through God for everything. You got to go through God for everything. You just can't do stuff by yourself. You can't. You can't. You can't. You can't. You can't. You can't. So, I just want to let somebody know, man, look, hey, this too shall pass. Whatever you're going through in life, I don't know why God want me to speak that right about now, but hey, this too shall pass. You may be going through a storm. You may be going through a financial hardship right about now. You may be going through a terrible breakup or divorce or whatever it is that you may be going through that may got you down and out, got you thinking about committing suicide or having depression or got you in this sad time. But hey, I'm telling you right about now, man, all that, this too shall pass. All that gonna pass. You can go and cry your tears right now, because tomorrow, when tomorrow come, hey, joy gonna come in the morning. Somebody gonna get a phone call. That phone call gonna make you happy. It may be the phone call that you've been waiting on. It may have been the phone call that you've been waiting on. And hey, it gonna happen for you. Just like that, in the instant. So, man, you just got to continue to keep the faith in God. You just got to continue to trust God. You just got to continue to move with God. Don't move against God, because when you move against God, now you're going against God's will and you're getting out of alignment. You always want to stay in alignment with God. You want to move with God. You want to move with God and for God. And, hey, God going to do the rest, man. God is going to do the rest. You just got to surrender and submit everything over to you that is surrounded or connected to you. You got to surrender and submit it all over to God and let God deal with it. And you just continue on moving forward and like working on yourself, focusing on God. Don't focus on your situation. Don't focus on your surrounding. Don't focus on the negativity. None of that. Just continue to focus on God, man. And God gonna get you where you need to be. God will get you where you need to be in life. You just gotta trust him. You just gotta trust him. Like I always tell people, man, sometimes you gotta you sometimes in order for God to come in and give you what he wants for you to have, you first gotta lose everything that you wanted to have for yourself. And if you're not in the business of losing for God, then you're not gonna gain nothing from God. If you're not in the business of losing material things, you're not in the business of losing friendship, if you're not in the business of losing family members, if you're not in the business of losing job, home, cars, none of that stuff, for Christ's sake, you can't even follow God. You're not even worthy of God. Because God is first. Only way you can follow God is you gotta be in the business of losing. Cause like I always tell y'all, when you lose with God, you win. But when you winning out here by yourself and you winning in the world, guess what? You losing with God. And that's the price that we have to pay when we are actually following Jesus Christ. God says that, are you willing to lay your life on the line for me? Are you willing to lose your life for me? So many people, they don't want to lose their life for God. They don't want to lose their life for God. They just want God for benefits. That's all. When they going through a little something, or when they need something, then when they run to God. But when everything going good, everything peaches and cream, everything gravy, man, they ain't even stand God. They barely open their word. They barely, and I'm a witness. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to y'all. Hey, I'm a witness. We all done did it at some point, and some of us we still doing it. The only time that we want to run to God is when something bad don't happen in our life, or when we really need God. But when life going good, we act like we don't need God. But then when you need God the most, when everything going good, that's when you should be really worshiping, praising, and thanking God, and giving God all your time, and hey, trying to get in alignment with God. That's when you really need God. It's not when everything don't drop to the flow. Because guess what? When everything drops to the flow, and that way you already been worshiping God, praising God, you've been seeking God, you've been praying, you've been fasting, you've been giving God your time, you've been doing the will of the Father that sent you, you've been doing all the necessary things. That man, when you fall on hard time, you're gonna look at that thing like, man, and keep moving. It ain't gonna even bother you because you already gonna know what's going on. But the reason why a lot of y'all, when things go on in your life, because when bad things are happening in your life, or you feel like it's a bad thing, and your anxiety let them get up high, and you just start making bad decisions because you ain't spent no time with God. You don't know God. You don't know how He operate. You just been praying, and you don't even know what's going on. You don't even know if it's the devil attacking you or if that's God will been doing in your life. You don't know. But we've been taught that every bad thing is the devil. Because what they say, when something bad happens, what we say? The devil, the devil, the devil, the devil. But then something good happen. Oh, that God. Thank you, God. Man, look, you don't think the devil know how to bless you? The devil can bless you just like God. See, that what a lot of people don't know. The devil can bless you just like God. And you going to think it. I told y'all earlier, he is the deceiver. He is the king of lies, the king of deceiver. God know how to dress something up so good, make it look so good to you, and bring it to your front door, and you going to act like it, and he going to make it feel like it came from God. And you going to accept it with even not taking it back to God and asking God, okay, God, is this something that you want for me to have? Is this something that you want me to have? Lord, did you bring this to me? But just because we've been praying for something, we've been asking for something, God bring it to us, and it seems like it's so good. The devil bring it to us, or whatever. It come to us by mail, by phone, by email. Just come to the front door. Get what? we be so excited, and most of the time we be in a hurry because what's going on in our life, we just accept it. It's just like so many of y'all have accepted certain people in your life because 1, you don't want to be alone. 2, you're tired of doing stuff on your own. 3, you just looking for love. That's all it's about. So the first man or woman come into your life hollering at you, and you been on your knee praying and fasting and asking God, God, do this, bring this woman, bring this man, do this how I want it, this how I want it, this. And I keep trying to tell y'all, man, the devil sitting right there listening to your prayers. And he gonna intercept that thing and take it back to the high for a pit 6 and drop it right at your door. And drop it right at your door. And drop it right at your door. And you gonna take it in without even asking God, okay, God, is this something that you want me to have? Was this from you? Nah, you just gonna take it and receive it. And on down the line, the first thing you gonna say, man, I sure hate I did this. I sure hate I got into this. I showed this and I showed that and I showed this. But you wouldn't have to be saying shoulda, coulda, woulda, and all that if you just would have stopped and sought God. So, but hey. I mean, you know, God is able, man. Yes, He is. God is able. He keep putting that song in my spirit. He is able. God is able to do just what He said He would do. He is able. You just gotta trust Him. You can't give up. You can't give up. You can't give up on God, man. I don't care what your life looking like. I don't care what the situation looking like. I don't care, man, if your life is just in straight shambles right about now. And hey, just know God is able to do just what He said He gonna do. And He gonna do it. He gonna do it, man. He gonna do it. He gonna do it. He gonna do it. He gonna do it, man. He just gonna do it in His way, in His time. And like I said, most of the time, God be waiting on us. We be looking at God, God be looking at us. We be looking at God, God be looking at us. So at the end of the day, you gotta make sure you in the right position. You gotta make sure that you are aligned. That you are in line, man, and that you have not got out of God's will. And that you are walking in the ways of righteousness and holiness and godliness and obedience. Hey, God ain't gonna, man, I'm telling you, God will not withhold nothing from you that He has promised to you when you are walking in line with Him. When you're doing, when let me tell you something, when you walk in obedience to God, God ain't gonna withhold nothing from you. He only gonna withhold things from you when you are being disobedient to Him, because at the end of the day, God don't bless no disobedient child. He is not like the earthly parents around here who gonna sit around here and bless these disobedient children. Just continue to give them even when they doing wrong, even when they ain't doing what they've been told. But you gonna still continue to give them. You still going out here buying them Christmas gifts. You still going out here buying them phone. You still going out here doing this, and you still going, but they ain't doing nothing you say do. God ain't like that. If you don't do what God tell you to do, oh well. You just gonna sit there and hold it. Sit there and hold it. He don't care. He don't care how long it take. Evidently, you don't want it. You don't want it. He ain't gonna give in like y'all give in to y'all kids. They come up pounding and I'm sorry. Nah, you can't go to God to I'm sorry, because God expect for you to repent of your sins and turn from your wicked ways and pick up your cross and follow Jesus Christ. That's what He expect. And He expects you to walk in His ways, His righteousness, His holiness. That's the only way you're going to receive it from God. Ain't no other way. I don't care how many times you get in that word. I don't care how many times you drop to your knees. I don't care how many times you go to that worship service on Sundays. I don't care how many times you go to Bible studies on Wednesday night. I don't care how many miles you I don't care how many family you feed. Man, no, you cannot work your way into the promised land. I'm here to tell you that right now. You cannot work your way into the promised land. You can't do it. You cannot work your way into the promised land. It's only you only gonna get into the promised land by being obedient. You see what happened to Moses? Moses only saw a glimpse of the promised land. Why? Because he was disobedient to God when God told him to speak to the rock. What did he do? He hit the rock. Okay. So God telling you to speak to the rock, but you don't want to speak to the rock. You want to hit the rock. Okay. So guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna see a glimpse of the promised land, and on judgment day, guess what God gonna tell you? Depart from me. I never knew you. The hell you go. God don't honor disobedience, man. What type of father he would be if he honored us being disobedient? If he honored being disobedient, then get what? God wouldn't have all these rules and regulations and structures that he tell us to live by. He would just let us live how we want to live. And hey, God wouldn't ever even send himself down here to die on the cross if he honored disobedience. He wouldn't even send himself down here to die on this cross. Because God be like, okay, they being disobedient. All right, they still going to be able to get into the promised land. They still going to be able to walk into heaven. I'm still going to get on their blessings. I'm still going to get on this promise that I told them that I'm going to give to them and all that right there. Man, look. You hear me? God don't do that, man. God is a man that he cannot lie, and he hold fast to every word, every promise that he has spoken to us, whether it be dream, vision, thought, or through these words. Through this word. You hear me? Every promise. Every promise. Thank you, God, for that confirmation. Every promise. Every promise. Every promise. Every promise. So, keep sitting around him being distracted by the things of this world. Continue to sit around him being distracted by all this other stuff, all this materialistic stuff, all this other stuff, man. You're going to miss out on your promise. You're going to miss out on your promise, man. God want to give it to you, but he ain't going to give it to you until you ready to be obedient. Till you ready to live how he wants you to live and do how he wants you to do. God gonna continue on letting you delay your own blessings, delay your own promise. God don't force nothing on us. That's he don't force nothing on us. He don't impose his will on us. None of that. So, but hey, man, look, when you see the sign, when you see that sign, when you see that rainbow in the cloud, just know God is keeping his promise. God is keeping his promise with his people on this earth that, hey, he'll never destroy this. He will never destroy this world again by water. I don't care how many floods you see. Yeah, that's a natural disaster, but it haven't destroyed the whole world. God promised that he will never destroy this world with water again. But next time gonna be with fire. Gonna be with fire. That's God's promise. That's God's covenant. That's his covenant with people. That's what a promise is. That's what a promise is. God's covenant. When God make a covenant with you, when God speaks something in your life, when God tell you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. That's God making a covenant between you and him. That's God giving you a promise between you and him. And if you can't bring it to pass, he the only someone who can bring it to pass. He the only one. He the only one, man. He the only one. So I know a lot of times, man, we don't understand what God be doing. Some stuff that he doing all life don't make no sense. Some stuff he tell us to do don't make no sense, man. But you gotta understand. You gotta understand God's ways and not our ways. And God will always tell you it's not for your understanding, but just to trust him. And also you gotta make sure the voice that you're hearing is of God. You gotta make sure that the voice that you are hearing is of God. Is of God. And not of something else. Because the devil definitely sure know how to speak and sound like he God. He know the word. He know the word. He know the word. That's how he got Adam and Eve. He knew exactly what God told him. But get what? He added his own little twist in it, didn't he? Oh, okay then. And deceived Eve, who then tricked Adam, and now they birthed sin. See how the devil work? He don't never attack the man first. He will always attack the woman first. He will always attack the woman first. He will always attack the woman first. Why? Because the woman is the weaker vessel. She is the weaker hero. And he know he can get through her. Hey, that man, easy access. Why? Because us men, we're weak for a woman. We weak. And you can't say you ain't, because the world is showing it. We are weak, man. We are weak men. We are weak men, because nowadays we let our women do whatever they want to do. We let them live in an ungodly and an unholy way. That's why God say he is a tide. Man, I'm telling you something. God is not pleased with us men. I'm telling you that right now. God is not pleased with us men, how we are sitting around here. When God had placed us the head, he placed us the head of the church and the head of the home. Y'all letting these women run the church and run the home. Man, you think God pleased with that? God ain't pleased with that. Sheila. God ain't pleased with that, man. He ain't pleased with that at all. And God is calling every man to every man look like me. I ain't talking about human being or mankind. I'm talking about every man to take their rightful position in the church and in the home. He need us to lead our family. He need us to be the discipler in the house. He need us to be the ones who instill discipline in the home. He need us in the church being the leaders that he have called us to be. Not conforming to this world, because the world say it's okay for a woman to pastor or preach, when God has directly told you it is not okay for a woman to have leadership over man. And that he forbids a woman to preach. That if she want to learn, she must do what? Learn from her husband at home. See, the woman's job is to be trying to train these women up on how they supposed to be. That's why you got these women out here doing what they want to do. They ain't got no respect for no man, or whatever the case may be. That's why. Because the women trying to do the man job. When they need about trying to teach these females how to be a wife, how to support their husband, how to be there for their husband. And then us men, man, look, God ain't pleased with what's going on, man. The structure of this world, the structure of the church, the structure of this world, God ain't pleased, because many of these churches have conformed to the world. And they ain't no longer speaking the truth. They ain't no longer preaching the truth, because they so worried about what the congregation gonna say. They so worried about what this preacher gonna say, what that pastor gonna say. They so worried about what people gonna say. But at the end of the day, you can't be a people pleaser when you walking and following with Jesus Christ. Because God wasn't a people pleaser. God walked alone. People hated him. They slandered him. They crucified him. They persecuted him. And God tell you the same thing gonna happen to you when you follow him. So you better be ready. You better be ready. I'm telling you, you better be ready. Because the same thing Jesus Christ went through, the same thing you gonna go through. You can't be a people pleaser. You can't worry about what people gonna say. You can't worry about what the naysayers gonna say. You can't. You can't. You can't. You can't. You can't. You can't. And if you do, you can't follow God. You're not worthy of God. If you're not willing to leave your mother, your father, you're not willing to leave your kindreds, if you're not willing to leave from that place where you were raised up in, when God say go, but you still talking about some God, I'm gonna stay here because I love my mother and my father, my mother and my father here, or God, I want to do this. Guess what God gonna tell you? You're not worthy of me. Because that means you love them people more than you love God. And when you love them people more than you love God, God gonna tell you, you're not worthy of me. Because God wants you to love them people. We say God wants you to love him more than you love them people. Not saying that you gotta hate your family. Not saying that you gotta hate your family. God wants to love our family, but at the end of the day, they don't come first. God come first. He is the number one. He is your Lord and Savior, not them. God will always give you time to spend time with your family. But at the end of the day, it's always got to be about Jesus Christ. You always got to be about his kingdom business. God told you in his word that I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. And that a man's foe will be of his own household. He telling you that. He telling you that. Ain't no other way that you can misinterpret that, but this is what we have been put into our mind, that we gotta love our family. We gotta do this. And I ain't saying you don't, because you're supposed to love your family. That's your flesh and blood. But at the end of the day, hey, your blood comes from Jesus Christ. He died on the cross for you. Not your mama, not your daddy, not your sister, not your kindred, none of them folk. Jesus Christ died on the cross for you. He shed his blood for you, so you can have eternal everlasting life. So God expects for you in return to lay your life down for him and pick up the cross and follow him, and wherever he tell you to go, that's what he expect. He ain't trying to sit here and wait for you to go. You just like that. I was just reading this morning where the man told God that, hey, I got to go back and bury my father. God said, let the dead bury the dead, but I need you to follow me. That's what some of y'all telling God. But God, look, I gotta stay here with my mama. I gotta stay here with my daddy. I gotta stay here in this place, and I gotta stay here. And God trying to tell you, I ain't there no more. I'm not finna bless that place no more. I need you to go where I'm trying to tell you to go. That's what I need you to do. I need you to go where I'm telling you to go. Because long as you continue to sit right there up under your mama, long as you continue to sit right up under your dad, long as you continue to sit right back there in that city that you in, man, you're going to continue to struggle each and every day, because God is not there no more. Where he trying to get you to go, there where he at. That's where your blessing at. That's where your healing at. That's where your strength at. That's where your provision at. God got somebody that he want to send, that God probably got somebody looking at y'all right now. Or God probably already chose the person who he gonna have to help you. But you still telling God, God, this what I want to do. Or God, this where I want to be at. You don't want to step out your comfort zone. That's all it comes down to. We get so comfortable. We get too comfortable and to the point when God tells us, okay, it's time for to pick up now. It's time to go. That's why you can't get comfortable. It's all right to be content. God ain't saying that about you, that, you know what I'm saying, that we're supposed to be content. He just said, don't get comfortable. Because you never know. You never know. You never know when that time gonna come, when God gonna say, all right, I need you to move. You got to be preparing yourself. You got to be preparing yourself. Because the only way that you're going to move up, the only way that you're going to level up, is you're going to have to be willing to walk wherever God tell you to go. You're going to have to be willing to follow Jesus Christ. That's why you see so many people, the only way that they flourish, the only way that they become successful, the only way that they can make anything out of their life is they got to get away from where they at. And once they get wherever they got, or wherever they supposed to be at, that's when, hey, life begin to come good. Life begin to come great for them. But then you got some people that end up going back home and get stuck. That's why God say, when I take you from a place, do not go back. Ain't that what he told Lot and his wife? He told them, he said, I'm about to destroy this place. I'm about to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. I just need y'all to go. You don't tell me where y'all want to go. Okay, I'm finna send you there. Do not look back, because I'm about to destroy this place and everything in it. And if you look back, you're going to be destroyed right along with it. And what happened? What so many of us we do, we want to look back on our past. And that what Lot's wife did. She looked back on her past. She want to know what was going on back there. When God tell you keep your eyes straight and focus on him, that's what he mean. When God tell you to keep moving in the direction that he pointed you to go, that's what he mean. God didn't tell you to look back on your past. He ain't said none of that. Why you looking back? Because what's in your rearview mirror, that's gone. What you looking back for? And what happened? She looked back and turned to a pillar of salt and got destroyed right along with it. You can't look back, man. You got to keep moving forward in life, man. Because you missing out on your best life. You missing out on your best life. You out there hustling for a couple of pennies and dollars. Well, man, you ain't got to do all that. God is always in the business of blessing, man. God is always in the business of blessing. You just got to surrender and submit your life over to God and let God be God in your life. And in due time, God going to walk you on into that promised land. But you got to be obedient to God. Because if you're not, you're going to miss out on it. You're only going to see a glimpse of it. And while you're in that wilderness, you can't be complaining. You can't be like the Hebrew Israelite. Complain. While you in that wilderness, God gonna meet your every need. He gonna meet your need. He gonna rain down that manna. You're gonna have enough. God gonna give you food. God gonna give you water. God gonna provide for you. He is your Jehovah Jireh. Then he provide for Adam. When he told him to go kill his son. And what Adam told his son, hey, we finna go out here. Hey, all I know is what the little boy said. Well, basically he was saying, okay, Dad, where the lamb at? We supposed to be going out here for a sacrifice. We ain't got no lamb. But what Adam told his son, God shall provide. God will provide the lamb. And before Adam could kill his son, God spoke to him. That an angel spoke to him out of heaven and said, stop. And Adam looked to his left and he seen a ram caught in the thicket. There go his sacrifice. Your faith is what gonna produce that miracle. Your faith is what gonna bring you into that promised land. Your faith. That's why faith is one of the important things that you gotta have in your spiritual walk. You just can't just walk with God and don't have no faith, because I'm telling you, God will tell you to do some stuff It ain't gonna sound right to you. But you gotta have faith and trust in that what he telling you is hey, when God tell you it's not for your understanding, all right, God, it ain't for my understanding. But you just, like I say, you just gotta make sure the voice that you hearing is from God, man. It's from God. It's from God. But hey, so hey, that promise is on the way for somebody. That promise is on the way. I don't know what God spoke to you. I don't know what dream, what vision, what word he spoke to you. He probably told you from the pit to the palace. But whatever word it is that God spoke unto you, it is not your job to bring it to pass. It is God's job. He gonna do it. He gonna work it out for you. Ain't that what Shirley Caesar said? God is gonna work it out for you. For you. For you. God is gonna work it out for you, man. God is gonna work it out for you. You just gotta stay on that path. That path for righteousness. That path for holiness. That path for obedience. God is gonna work it out for you, man. He gonna make whatever he told you to start, he gonna make it flourish. If God told you to become an entrepreneur and start a business, hey, leave it in God's hand. Leave it in God's hand. Matter of fact, invite God into it. Say, Lord, you gave me this desire. You gave me this word. You gave me this dream. You gave me this thought. And Lord, I return it back to you. I dedicate it back to you, and I invite you into this thing and say, Lord, have your way with it. Send the people my way. Send the people my way that you want to help me. Because, Lord, I know who I want. But, Lord, you already got some people ordained. You already chose some people. They already watching. They already done heard about me. They just waiting on me to walk in the room. I speak that and claim that not over my life, but over y'all life. In the name of Jesus. That God already got them people. That he setting everything up right now as we speak. See, one thing about it, we can't see what God doing behind closed doors. All we just got to know is God is working it out. He's working it out in our favor. That hey, he's putting everything together. So when that time comes and he sit us down at that seat, at that table, the table that he is preparing for us, or the table that he have already prepared for us, when he sit us down and push us to that table and he say eat, we gonna eat. We gonna eat. But you gotta trust God, man. Your journey is not gonna be like everybody's journey. Your journey ain't gonna be like everybody's journey. Everybody got a different journey. Everybody gotta walk a different way. Everybody gotta go a whole different route sometimes. But at the end of the day, what God say, all things work together for those who believe in God. All things work together for those who are called by God. All things work together. The good, the bad, the ugly, the small, the big, the large, the medium. All things. All things work together. Not just some, but all things work together. And you just got to trust God, man, no matter what your situation look like. You got to put them blinders on. Like them horses, you got to put them blinders on and just continue to look forward. Don't worry about your situation. Don't worry about what's going on. Don't worry about what your wife doing. Don't worry about what your husband doing. God got them. God gonna get them. You just focus on God. Don't worry about what your boss saying. Don't worry about what your manager saying. Don't worry about what your co-worker saying. Don't worry about them people. You just do your job. Your job gonna speak for itself. Your job, what you do, it gonna get you looked at. People are already looking at you. I don't even know who I'm talking to. But God say people are already looking at you. You about to be up for a promotion on your job and you don't even know it. I don't even know who I'm talking to right about now. But God said you about to be up for a promotion. You don't even know it. You don't even know them people looking at you. But you want to come in late. You want to do what you want to do. You want to try to hang with everybody. Get what them people going to do. They're going to look at you like they look at everybody else. You got to separate yourself, man. You got to separate yourself. Because you up for a promotion. Them people watching you. Them people watching you. Supervisor. Area manager. Plant manager. General manager. Man, God want to elevate you. But you got to separate yourself. You got to separate yourself. You got to separate yourself. And you got to look different. I don't care to call them your homeboy, then your homegirl. And they're going to be like, oh, man, such and such and such and such. Man, they don't, man, he acting funny, man. He acting funny. He acting funny. Man, get what? And so what? Oh, he don't got that little promotion now. He want to act funny. He don't even kick it with her like that no more. Man, look, at the end of the day, it's all about you and trying to provide for your family. That's who it's all about. And Kayshawn, bro, I'm not even going to lie. I feel like that's a word for you. I feel like God trying to tell you, bro, that I don't know where you work at or whatever that's going on, bro, but I really do feel like, bro, them people watching you. They watching you. And you in the talks of a promotion, bro. You probably a good worker. You probably the best worker. I mean, you probably out doing your thing. But, bro, I'm telling you right about now, you're going to have to separate yourself. You're going to have to separate yourself, bro. I don't know what God want to do with you. I don't know how God want to elevate you, what he want to take you to. But if you spend time with God, you see God, man, God going to show you. God going to show you. He going to speak to you what he want to do. You never know. Like I said, hey, supervisor, from supervisor to area manager, from area manager to general, from plant manager to general manager. That thing, no, man, you may be, man, you look. Like I always tell people, it ain't about what you know. It's about who you know. You ain't got to have, like I tell people, you ain't got to have no high school diploma. You ain't got to have all these degrees that everybody going back to school for. All you need is God. What the song say, long as I got King Jesus. Long as I got King Jesus. I don't need nobody else. I don't need nothing else, bro. You do not need no high school diploma. You do not need no college degree. When God says something for you, bro, that's what he means is for you. And he will give you favor. He will touch whoever he need to touch. Allow them to see your work ethic and how you do and whatever you do. He will do it. He will do it. He will do it. I don't know who else out there need to hear that. It might be for somebody else. But hey, at the end of the day, it'll resonate with your spirit. God will confirm everything that I said if it's for you. But at the end of the day, man, we just gotta be obedient to God, man. And surrender and submit our life over to God and let God be God in our life. And just let him, man, just have at it, man. Just have at it, man. God say he brought us into this world to prosper, not to harm us. We doing the harming. We harming ourselves by choosing to live how we want to live and do what we want to do. We do the harming. We do the harming, not God. Because God be trying to get us on that straight and narrow path. Sometimes it don't feel good by how he do it, but hey, at the end of the day, we always gotta know that we make our own decision in life, and whatever decision that we make, we gotta do. We gotta pay the consequences for it. So when God trying to straighten that cricket path out, when he trying to make it narrow and straight, yeah, it gonna hurt. Yeah, it gonna cause some pain. Yeah, it gonna cause you to lose some people, some places, and some things. Because God got to straighten that thing out. God got to come in your house and clean it out. He got to get some furniture up out of there. He got to get some stuff up out of there that he don't like. He going to be the interior decorator. God is the interior decorator of that home. Matter of fact, he the construction worker and the interior decorator. Because while he fixing things on the inside, he's going to be fixing things on the outside as well. God is the construction worker. He going to build that home. And he going to walk into that thing and decorate that thing how he see best fit. He going to move some stuff around. He going to take some stuff out. God is always in the business of remodeling. Just like how we sit around here and we'll go look at a house and we be like, man, we walk in and that thing be looking messed up and whatever the case may be. We like, man, we got to put some work into this thing. That's what God do to you. When he get a hold of you, he walk in and be like, hey, I gotta put some work in this thing. So get what God did. God began going there, restore, revive, renew, rebuild, reshape everything. He began to take all the old stuff out, began to replace it with the new. Out with the old and in with the new. That's what God do, man. That's exactly what God do. Nothing more, nothing less. That's exactly what God do. That's what he do. That's what he do, man. Sometimes it be painful. Sometimes it be hurtful. Sometimes you be want to give up every day. You don't think I be want to give up every day? But I continue to hold fast to God promised what he told me. And I just continue to seek him each and every day and asking God, okay, God, when? If not now, when? If not now, when, Lord? If not now, when? I just got to continue to be patient and ask God to give me the patience and the strength to bear. Storm is over. Now it's all about God coming in and restoring, reviving, and renewing, and putting that thing back together. The storm is over. I don't know who need to hear that, but hey, God said the storm is over. The storm is over. Now it's time to get out there and call FEMA, which FEMA is your Jesus Christ. Call God 911, help Jesus Christ. Call on God, say, okay, God, let's get back to rebuilding. This time, I'm going to build my foundation on something strong and solid, which is you. Because the last time, my foundation was not built on you. It was built on something weak. It was built on this worldly system. And when that storm came through, that's why I always tell people, man, some storms are not bad storms, man. Some storms come through to create some new stuff. Create some better stuff. You know, it's just like when these natural disasters come through. Yeah, we look at it, oh man, it's a bad thing, and it don't tear down some stuff, but guess what? It make way for some new stuff. It made way for some new stuff. Same thing about storms in our life. Yeah, it may look bad, it may feel bad, but at the end of the day, all you know that, hey, I'm safe in God's arm. I can ride this thing out with Jesus Christ. That when this thing over with, that just mean God don't came through him and allowed me to lose everything that he didn't want me to have. Now he finna begin to restore everything that he want for me to have. Thank you, God, for that confirmation. That's what he finna do. That's exactly what God's about to do in my life and in so many of y'all life. The storm's over. God just slowly orchestrating, putting things together. That's all he doing. Did it hurt? Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. It hurt. But hey, I just gotta continue to be patient and wait on God, man. God gonna do what he said he gonna do. He gonna do what he said he gonna do. God gave me some promises years ago. And God gonna do what he said he gonna do. Ain't no if and buts about it. He gonna do what he said he gonna do. I trust him. I trust him. Sometimes I question God, but hey, I trust him. Sometimes I get a little angry with God. I get a little mad with God. I get a little upset with God. Cause I be like, I tell God, God, look, I need this and da 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 da. You know, but I trust God. I trust God with all my heart. I love him with all my heart. I ain't perfect, but I don't sit around and use that as an example to keep on doing what I want to do when I know what I'm doing is wrong and it ain't pleasing to God and it ain't the way God want me to live. Can't keep doing that. Cause now you just telling God blatantly to his face you don't care. You don't care. God know we gonna fail every day. God know we gonna fall short of his glory every day. God know that. God know we can't be perfect because he's the only somebody that walked this earth perfect. But at the end of the day, man, you just gotta know that when that thought pop up in your head and that word pop out your mouth, that ain't nothing but the devil putting that thought in your head to use that for an excuse. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to hearken unto God's voice. You don't want to live the way God have called you to live. It ain't hard. It ain't hard to choose God. But what's gonna be hard is trying to stay with God. When you follow Jesus Christ, that's the hardest thing to do. It ain't hard to choose God. The hard part about it is staying with him and following him. Because like I said earlier, people ain't gonna like you. People ain't gonna want to deal with you. They gonna slander you. They gonna drag your name through the mud. They gonna hate on you. Your enemy gonna be people of your own household, your own family. Because when God begin to speak stuff to you and begin to tell you stuff, he only telling you. He don't want you telling nobody else. And a lot of people ain't gonna understand the way you move and what you doing. They just gonna feel like you just out doing anything. But at the end of the day, you just following what God told you to do. It don't make sense to other people, but it makes sense to you. Because you know the promise that God gave you. They don't know the promise. That's why us parents gotta start telling our kids to seek God for his perfect will. For his perfect will for them. Because God ain't finna tell you what he want to do with that child. He gonna tell that child though. He gonna tell that child. And it's up to that child to hearken unto God, to be obedient to God. You just gotta support that child. You just gotta continue to pray for that child and train that child up in the way that they should go. That when they leave off and up under your roof, hey, they'll know which way to go. They'll know that, hey, I gotta depend on God. I gotta seek God. I gotta pray. I gotta fast. I gotta get in his word. I gotta get in his presence. I gotta have a relationship with God. Because that's what God is calling for us to have. Man, he don't care about us being religious. Religion is something that you practice. This ain't something that we practice. This is an everyday lifestyle that you have to live. And if you ain't willing to live that lifestyle, then you might well be mentioning God's name. Because you just basically just adding more slander to his name by the way you live and by the things that you do. Because people out there looking at you feeling like, okay, he or she talking about she loves Jesus Christ, she believes in Jesus Christ and all this, and Jesus Christ that, Jesus Christ that. But look how she living. And the first thing y'all want to say, well, why you judging me? No folks ain't judging you. No folks, man, trust me, believe me. People know how Christian people supposed to live. Folks ain't stupid. Folks ain't dumb. They know that you don't supposed to be doing what they doing. That's why they calling the church a hypocrite now. They calling all of us hypocrites. Because at the end of the day, that's what most of us is. We are hypocrites. If you ain't going to be about it, you ain't going to walk it, don't say nothing. Until you get on that path of walking in God's righteousness and his holiness and his obedience. Until then, you live your life however you want to live it. And don't add Jesus Christ's name to it until you know for sure that you ready to pick up that cross and die to yourself and follow him each and every day. Because that's what you have to do. You have to die to yourself each and every day. You got to die to your own wants, your own desires. And pick up your cross and follow Jesus Christ. That's why you got to ask God to remove your own desires out of your heart and begin to place his desires. And one of his desires to seek and chase after him. If you ain't got that desire in your heart, then I know what you walking in. You walking in your own ways. Because you ain't walking in the ways of God. When God put a desire in your heart to want to please him, to want to follow him, that's a desire that comes straight from God. That's a desire that comes straight from God. That's a desire that comes straight from God, man. But God gives you desires of your heart. I was almost there. I had to turn one more page. Trust in the Lord and do good. So shall thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. Delight thyself in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thy heart. Delight yourself in God, and he shall give you the desires of your heart. Man, that's a promise God gave to me when I was locked up. That's a promise. That if you delight yourself in the Lord, he shall give you desires of thy heart. Whatever you desire, if it comes from God, he gonna give it to you. He's gonna give it to you. But you gotta delight yourself in God, which means you gotta walk in God's ways. His holiness, his righteousness, godliness, obedience. That's the will of the Father. God said the only way you're gonna get into heaven is, hey, you do the will of the Father who sent you. And if you doing that, and you following Jesus Christ, hey, boy, you about 90% there. But hey, I ain't gonna talk y'all head off, man. I just want to come up here and I was supposed to been talking about a promise, but hey, God sent me a whole different way. Somebody need to hear this word, man. So I hope this word resonates with you. I hope this word spoken to your spirit today, man. I hope you receive this word. But not only just receive this word, but man, receive Jesus Christ in your life. Because he is the one who gonna bring past this promise. He is the one who gonna bring this promise and this word to pass, man, in your life. It's not gonna be you. You can try to do it, but you don't know how God want to do it. God already know how he want to do it. God already planned your life out before you and your mama and daddy got together, before you came through your mama birth canal. Jesus Christ had already planned your life out. He already know what he want to do with you, how he want to use you, what people he want to use. Man, look, I'm telling you, just like you are meant to be a blessing to somebody, guess what? God got somebody assigned to your life the same way he got you assigned to somebody's life. That's just how God works. It's a never-ending cycle. We are all assigned to somebody's life to help them, to bless them. And at the same time, hey, somebody assigned to our life to help us, to bless us, and to lead us. So you just got to be humble. You just got to be humble, but not only humble, man, you just got to let God bring them people into your life. You got to let God really bring them people into your life. You got to seek God with all your heart. What God say, seek ye kingdom first and his righteousness, and everything else shall be added unto you. If you seeking all the rest of the stuff and you ain't seeking God and his kingdom and his righteousness, then guess what? You just out there just making decisions and doing what you want to do. You just basically out there just gambling your life. That's what so many of y'all out there doing. You gambling your life. You gambling your life. You just taking. You just doing whatever, hoping that it fall through. If it don't fall through, oh well, I'll try something else. If that don't work, okay, I'll try something else. You gambling with your life. Life is not meant to be gambled with. Life is precious. You only got one life. And I know people say, well, you only got one life, so you got to live it. Yeah, but you want to live it the right way. You want to live it through God. You don't want to live it how you want to live it, because once you live it the way you live it and you mess it up and, hey, God can't cut your lights off like Georgia Power, that's it. That's it. The next face you're going to see is God on Judgment Day. All you going to hear him say, depart from me. I never knew you. The hell you go. So start gambling with y'all life, man. And live your life through God. Because he know what he want to do. He know where he want to take you. And at the end of the day, a lot of people ain't going to agree with you. But just because they don't agree with you, man, it is what it is. Don't let nobody steal your dreams, your hopes, your ambitions, your goals. If God told you to do it, if God said, this is what I want you to do, or this is where I want you to be at, do it. Don't worry about what other people say. Because at the end of the day, guess what? When that thing happen, they're going to be the main ones in your face talking about, oh, I knew something was special about you. I knew you can do it. No, you didn't, because if you knew I could do it when I told you, guess what? You would have supported me. You would have supported me. You would have supported me. But you didn't support me, so that let me know that, hey, you didn't believe. And if you don't believe, guess what? Sorry for you. But I can't have nobody around me who don't support me, nor believe. I'm sorry. I don't care who you is. Because they're going to be the ones that cause you to get out of God's will. They're going to be the ones who cause you to stumble. They're going to be the ones who cause you to go down a whole different path, because at the end of the day, like I tell people, people are only happy for you when you're doing what they want you to do. As long as you're doing what they want you to do, they all happy. As soon as you step out that box, or you begin to start doing what you want to do, oh, people ain't happy for you then. They want to call you crazy. They want to ask you, well, you sure you doing what you this and that? Man, that ain't nothing but the devil. That ain't nothing but the enemy. And how the enemy work. You know what you're supposed to be doing. God don't spoke it to you. He don't told you. Being successful, man, becoming successful ain't easy. You gotta, man, ask people who are millionaires and billionaires. Ask them how many millions they done lost. Ask them billionaires how many millions they done lost before they became a billionaire. Ask them millionaires how many millionaires they done lost. Millions they done lost before they became a millionaire. Ask them how much stuff they done had to go through, how many ups and downs and losses they done had to take before they got what they got. And I ain't talking about the one who done sold, they sold for fame and fortune and money. I'm talking about the ones who actually was out there doing it the right way. When you out there doing the right way, it takes a while. It takes a while. It takes a while. It takes a while. Success don't come overnight. I don't know where I don't know where they get that overnight success from. Success don't come overnight, man. You're gonna go through some stuff. You're gonna go through some ups, some downs, some lose, some gains, some losses. Some nights you're gonna be at home or wherever you at, sliding down the wall with tears in your eyes. Cause you just don't understand what's going on. You've been trying, you've been doing everything God been telling you to do, and you just don't see nothing manifesting. It takes a while, man. God moving His own time in His own way. But at the end of the day, when it's time, God gonna let the right people see you. Not only He gonna let the right people see you, but like I always tell people, it just take that one. You take that one outfit. You take that one song, that one fragrance, that one hair care product. All you do is take one. All you gotta do is get in the right hand. Once you get in the right hand, it's on the pop. It's on the popping. It's on the popping. It's on the popping. All they do, you Take that one. That's all I do. Take that one. Take that one. Take that one. But hey, just leaving in God, and man, trust God. Trust God with your life. Everything about you. Everything. Your entire life. Everything. I say everything, everything. Put it all in God's hand. Put it all in the pot. Relationship, marriage, finances, career, job, whatever it is. Put it all in one pot. And just push it over to God. Say, God, all right, this you. Have your way. Have your way. Have your way. Have your way. Have your way in my life. Hey, them bills, man, get all them bills. Push it in one pile. Pray over and say, God, all right, these your bills. For real. All that debt you got, get it all together. Put it in the pot. Pray over and push it over to God. Say, all right, God, this yours. Have at it. Do as you will. Send me the funds. Counsel. I speak counsel. I claim counsel of all debts in the name of Jesus. Lord, you are counseling every single debt that is attached to me, Father God, in the name of Jesus. I speak that not over myself, but I speak that over you in the name of Jesus, that every debt that is being counseled, I mean that every debt that is assigned to your name is being counseled right now in the spiritual realm, and that it's going to show up physically at your doorstep. That you're going to get a notification in the mail or to your email saying that this debt has been canceled. It's been paid in full. And all you're going to be able to say, that ain't nothing but God. That ain't nothing but God. That's all you're going to be able to say. That's all you're going to be able to say. That was nothing but God. Because like I said, at the end of the day, they who want to get all the glory and honor. God want to get all the glory and honor. He don't want us to say, we did nothing. He don't want us to say, they did nothing. At the end of the day, God want to be the one who get all the glory and honor. Testimony. Testimony. That's why so many people, they walk around here, they're testimony. Because they leaning and depending on God to change and fix whatever it is they were going through in life. God gonna get all the glory and honor. Not you. Not your money, not your finances. None of that. None of that. So, just hold on to God and change your hand. Hold on, y'all. So just hold on to God and change your hand. Hold on to his word, because his word shall never go void. His word shall never go void. When God speaks something into your life, when God gives you a promise, that's a promise. He's a man that can't lie. But at the end of the day, God ain't going to force it on you. He ain't going to force it on you. He is not going to force it on you. He is not going to force it on you. So, but hey. Other than that, man, look, I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. God love you a million times more, man. I appreciate y'all for watching, for you know, because at the end of the day, it ain't about me. It's about God, man. And I hope y'all come out here to hear a word from God, not a word from me. I hope you don't come out here to listen to me nor see me, but to see and listen, well, to listen to God speak through me. Because at the end of the day, that's who it's all about. It's all about God. 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 But hey, other than that, man, hey, man, y'all continue to stay focused. Man, don't let the devil deter you away from the promises that God has spoken to your life. Don't let God deter you away from the promises that God has spoken to your life. Because at the end of the day, He's going to try to do everything in His power to try to deter you away from the very words God spoken to your life. He don't care how He do it. He don't care who He uses. He can use the person that sleep right next to you. He don't care. Even though that's your wife, that's your husband, the enemy will jump into them, and then now they become your enemy. But what God say, love your enemy, do good for your enemy, pray for your enemy. Some people don't know that they be being used by God at that very moment, at that very time. They don't be knowing. So, but hey, other than that, man, look, I love y'all. Y'all be safe out there. Continue to keep God first, making Him the head of your life, not the tail. Seek ye kingdom first and His righteousness, and everything else shall be added unto you. And remember, man, hey, we ain't got too much longer in 2024, man. So, hey, y'all need to begin to get into God's presence, man. Spend some time with God. Seek God with all your heart. Seeking Him for wisdom, knowledge, understanding of your life, what He want to do with you going into 2025, how He want to move with you, where He want to move you to, what job, what career He have for you, what blessings He have for you, man. This is your time to begin to seek God, because waiting to get into 2025, man, is never too late. But this is your preparation season right here. You should be preparing to go into 2025, because so many people, man, God gonna bless. Man, so many people, this is about to be their year. 2025 about to be so, man, you gonna look around, you gonna see people winning left and right. But then you also gonna see people, man, they suffering left and right. I'm telling y'all. For some people, 2025, the start of 2025, and for the rest of their life, gonna be the best life. But for some of y'all about to endure pure hell. Y'all about to endure pure hell. I don't know what's about to come. God keeps speaking about a famine. A famine. I ain't talking about a small famine. I'm talking about a large famine. Don't know when. Sure don't know how. But this is a warning. So, man, y'all need to prepare yourself. If you got to stock up on you a bunch of canned food, water, and all that right there, hey, this ain't like it was when they were talking about how the world gonna end in 2000. When 2000 hit, nah, the world ain't gonna end. But God is speaking about a famine that is gonna come. I don't know when. But I can tell you, prepare for it. Prepare for it. You need to be saving your money. Save your money. Start going out and splurging. Because it's gonna come a time where, man, but like I always say, every bad situation, God always uses it for His good. Just like this situation with Trump and his administration, it's gonna work out for God good. It's gonna work out. It's gonna work all out in God's favor. Because so many of y'all finna get drawn to God just by this administration. And whenever this famine happen, it's gonna draw so many of y'all to God. Because you ain't gonna have no choice but to lean on God. Whatever's about to take place in 2025, and whatever them folk got planned on up there in that White House, man, you continue to see him think I'm crazy. Talking about, man, crazy if you want to. I promise you, you're going to be reverting back to this message. This message probably going to pop up. And you going to be like, man, hey, he said that. And I ain't the only one who's saying stuff like this, man. I ain't the only one. God is sending His people out to warn y'all what's ahead. And y'all saying acting like them folks speaking crazy, they speaking gibberish. Man, look, you better take heed to it. When somebody tell you this is a warning that come from God, all you gotta do is take it back to God. Better take heed to it, man. You better start preparing for 2025. For some, it's going to be a great year. And for some, it's going to be a terrible, 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 terrible year for y'all. And I ain't trying to be on the terrible side. I'm trying to be on the winning side. Enter into my winning season. The best life God got for me. Man, look, what? God, bring it on. In the name of Jesus. Bring it on, 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 bring it on. Bring it on, God. Bring it on, bring it on. But other than that, man, look, I love y'all. God love you a million times more. You know, yeah. Hey, God give it to me. Lord be willing. Best believe I'm bringing it to y'all. Cause at the end of the day, I want to be doing him no justice, and I want to be doing God no justice. And hey, y'all know what time it is. It's GOAT time, man. GOAT. God over all things. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go out here and make God happy. Let's go out here and advance his kingdom, help his people, man. And let's just make God proud by, man, walking in obedience according to his will and his way. And living a righteous and holy and pleasing life that he's called us to live. No, you ain't going to be perfect. But God is the example that he expects everybody to strive for. He is the example, not other people, not other Christians, not your pastor, not your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, none of them people. Jesus Christ is the example because he is the way, the truth, and the life. And you cannot enter into the Father except through him. You ain't going to be able to get in through it by your pastor. You ain't going to be able to get in through it by bishop, elder, such and such, and first lady, such and such, and your mama, your daddy, nobody. It's only through Jesus Christ that you're going to be able to enter into the old heavenly gate. So, hey, do it now. Do it now or forever. Forever hold your peace. Because the bride is, the groom is coming back for his bride. He is coming back for his bride. So if you want to be in that number, God coming back for his perfect church. If you want to be in that number, hey, God coming back for his church, man. And I ain't talking about these single churches, the denominational churches. God's coming back for his people. His people. People who did the will of the Father. The people who lived the way God told them to live. That's who he coming back. And the rest of y'all, woe to you. Woe to you, woe to you, woe to you, woe to you. But other than that, man, look. Until next time, man, when God give it to me, man, you know I gotta give it to y'all. Enjoy y'all day. Make some time for God. Live for God the right way. And just let God be God in your life, man. Invite him into every aspect of your life, man. Amen. But hey, until next time, man. Peace.